everybody! Welcome back to the channel, thanks for joining in. I'm just going to get some links popped out and stuff. Right, let me just get some notifications sent out. I just need to nip on my phone for this bit. I'm utilising my laptop again, so I shouldn't miss chat. Oh, so I was using Twitch to look at something else a minute ago. Stream manager, share link. If you're jumping in off the notifications, let me know you're part of the notification squad and I'll probably give you a nice little shout out. Let's get the M4 out. NxtGen. Now live for some wet, slippy action. Pigo. I'm good, mate. I'm very good indeed. Thank you for asking. I hope you are well too. You're actually watching you on stream now. That wasn't planned. It was just you with the car that was not just sat parked. Right, so that's that done. That's that done. Put my phone away because I shouldn't need it now. In fact, what I will do, I'll have a quick look and see if there's any points tables because I've not seen any. But then again, I'll mute the chat. So if they've been putting the chat on, if they've been putting the things up in chat, I would not have seen them. So I'm just having a little bit of a scroll back. We'll wait for qualifying to start. Anyone that's jumping in and that has not jumped in any of these for the past, well, how many weeks we can go in now? This is the NxtGen Racing FASTR BMW M4 League. So the plan with this, I guess, is very similar to the, yeah, there's no points, very similar to the Megans that we look at on a Thursday, in that it's the same car. The drivers don't really have any differences with the cars or the tyres or the strategies or the fuel weights or anything like that, and it's purely just down to how the driver can get the best out of the car and the track. So what you're in for tonight is 10 minutes quali, which is just about to start now, and then we're going to have two 10-minute races at the Red Bull Ring. As you've no doubt noticed, here in Austria today, the skies are clearing up a bit, but we've still got quite a lot of standing water on the track. It is still raining, we have still got some spotted clouds around, so we're going to have rain for the duration of at least this first race. That's going to present a particular challenge to the drivers. We do have, the drivers do have intermediate tyres on, which is sort of halfway between a full ball wet tyre and a slick, so effectively a heavily cut slick tyre, which do disperse a certain amount of water, but it does still present some traction challenges for the drivers, and expect to see these BMWs be a little bit rear end happy. So the driving characteristics of these BMWs is as such that all the weight is over the front axle. So you've got this big sort of lumpy engine over the front axle and not a lot of weight over the rear. Now Red Bull Ring as well does have a lot of inclination variability to it. It's a very up and down track. The run from turn 1 to effectively turn 3 is all uphill, and then it goes downhill from there. The downhill section of the circuit, which you can see P-Gib sort of navigating at the minute. In the dry, you don't even notice there's camber on these corners, but in the wet, you notice. And you feel that, especially during this last sector when there's a car off circuit already in the background. So we'll see what the lap times are. In practice, I did a few laps, got a 1:47. It took me a few laps to get that. Some of the faster guys were doing 1:46s, 45's probably possible as well if you get a good lap out of it. So some of the good guys here can get some good lap times out. I'm not quite sure whether I've got that in my tank, but we're watching the guys that have driven these cars all season, so they should know what's to do. So with it being a 10-minute race as well, as we've seen, as Luke Mitchell drifts his BMW out of turn 1. Just tries to put the power down just a little bit too early, and those Pater curves on the exit of turn 1 don't offer a lot of grip. You almost get like little touring car races because there's not a lot of time to maximise your opportunities. You do see drivers not really having the opportunity to be patient, so they will go for the moves that maybe you would otherwise just wait for, and maybe not take those risks in other races. But in these ones you've kind of got to, or you're going to be dead on your feet really. Polish Pete 123 must be a new driver to the league, not someone I'm familiar with. Hasn't got a livery on the car as well. He's running the standard H&R livery that came with the BMW. So we've got P Gib out on track as well. We know Gibbo from the McGanns. We've got Duds as well. Duds has started inserting themselves into different racing series as well, proving to be a good contender. We all know who Philo is. He's a very capable driver. Luke Doxey as well, very capable. He's had some really good races this season. Danzo again had some good races this season as Danzo. He's improved as we've gone along. P1 Don has been plagued by connection issues through the season, but again a very strong contender, one of the finest. Same for Luke Mitchell. Definitely been mixing it up at the top. TP86 Racing's had a little bit of a mixed bag. We've got 1805 in here as well. He's had a bit of a disappointing season, I think he'll say. We've got Dark Sykes in here as well, the Mandalorian car. He's enjoyed these. Shadow Stalker in P12. He typically is pretty good in wet tracks, I believe. And Big Z with probably my favourite livery of them all. So let's have a look at the early pace setters then. I'm just going to put the times up on the side, and this is purely so I can reference them. So Duds with a 47.8, Don a 48.2. 1805 48.2 is in fact the exact same time as P1 Don. 48.242 1805 and P1 Don have got, so it's a good time for 1805. These times will come down as drivers find their groove. Expect these to easily slip into probably the 46s as the drivers just get used to it, maybe get a little bit of slipstream assistance as well. What's Philo popped in? Philo's popped in a 48.4. Peak of a 49.0 early pace. We've still got Luke Mitchell needs to set representative lap time. He made that mistake on his first flying lap, you'll see. Luke Doherty, he's put 47.5, but it hasn't counted, so I'm not sure why that is. And then Dark Sykes still needs to set a time as well. It's a very nice short qualifying session. Every single driver pretty much is improving their time on this second go at it. There is a driver in the background that is spun, but we can't really focus on those guys for the time being. P-Gib 47.6, P-Gib puts in pole. Polish Pete isn't going to be able to improve that, I'm afraid. Duds 47.2 for Duds. Philo with a 46.5. First driver into the 46s. Luke Doherty finally represents. He's put a 47.4 on the board. P1 Don goes third with a 47.3. Luke Mitchell 48.1 for Luke Mitchell. 18.05 going to be next across the line. Has he improved his time as well? No, he hasn't this time. Still with a 48.2. Dark Sykes 47.5 for Dark Sykes. That is good enough for fifth at the minute. Shadow Stalker, decent time for Shadow Stalker. That 49.2. We do know he's got a little bit more in that tank. TP86 didn't improve that time around. Bigsy didn't improve. Oh, he did improve actually that time. Bigsy 48.1. So actually chonked a good time off his lap that, and that puts him up to P8. But your current pole sitter is Philo, the only driver at the minute in the 46 club. 46.5. The next driver behind him is 7 tenths away. So there is a bit of a learning curve to this track, as you've probably figured out. Duds currently navigating some traffic. P1 Don's in a bit of clear air. Again, lots of improved times getting set again. A lot of drivers, no one going purple yet, but a lot of drivers are improving their lap times. Looks like Duds might have aborted that lap. He's slowed down, he's letting all these cars go. Let's have a look. Philo. Not an improved time for Philo. Dark Sykes is improving. Let's keep an eye on Dark Sykes because he was going personal best sector 2. Just about a second off the best time at the minute is Dark Sykes with that 47.5. Luke Doherty next in the 46 Club, 46.583. Just 1/10 shy of Philo's time. Luke Mitchell 46.7 as well, he goes P3. We've got a car losing it on the exit. Dark Sykes 47.5 for him to beat. He's not going to improve it this time. Lost a ton of time in sector 3, and yeah, one of the cars that did lose it there, tempted to say might even be P1 Dom. Drivers aren't really struggling with the race conditions. Just imagine what this is going to be like at full race pace. When these drivers are not only fighting for a lap time, but they're fighting for position as well, and they do defend those positions with valour and honour. That car is not enjoying life, whoever it is. Number 65. Who is it? It's Philo. Philo's just trying to get his car pointing in the right direction. If he gets the move on, he can get another lap in. So the way this qualifying system works is if you cross the line in the next 1 minute 18 seconds, you'll get another lap time in. And so most drivers now are just going to have one more crack at the whip. So not a lot of improvements going on here. Biggsy did set a personal best first sector. But all your time at Red Bull Ring, as is sort of the way really, the first sector is only really one corner. You tend to figure out who's got the biggest gentleman sausage in the second and the third sectors here. So we'll just see what Biggsy's got up his sleeve in the Care Bears car. Probably my favourite livery of them all, I've got to be honest. So Biggsy currently 8th on the grid. Argument as to whether you want pole here, because effectively you're giving a tow to everyone else, but in wet conditions you also want to be out of the park. You don't want to be involved in anything. Yeah, Biggsy is improving. If he continues his lap time, he is set to at least get on terms of P-Gap, potentially even get Dark Sykes as well. Shadow Stalker, decent lap time for Shadow Stalker, 48.6. Danzo with a 48.6 as well. So those two quite equally matched. Duds has got purple set to 1. Yeah, purple set to 1. This is going to be his final lap. So Philo's on another lap. We've got Luke Doherty on a lap as well. Every driver now is on their last chance saloon. Can they do anything about it? Dark Sykes has pulled over. He's not going to be able to beat that. So is Biggsy. Did Biggsy beat that time? 49.3. No, he lost all that time in the final sector. Let's keep an eye on the timing screens then. Coming into sector 2. Polish Pete is going to be the next one. Does it improve second sector, but still sets a pretty decent time. Personal best second sector for Duds. So he is a driver that is going for it, but it's going to be a struggle for Duds. I think he's lost a load of time in that second sector. He's lost a load of time somewhere. Keep an eye on Duds. So definitely going to be one to watch. Philo's giving up. P-Gib sets P4. Luke Mitchell going to be next to cross the line, I believe. Polish Pete, 48.2 for Polish Pete. Luke Mitchell, what does he do? 46.5 for Luke Mitchell. And Dodge with a 47.1. Doesn't get past P-Gib in the end. P-Gib puts himself in 4th right off the bat. P1 Don, what can he do? He's 6th at the minute with a 47.3. Will want to improve that. Does improve that. 47.0 goes P4 right at the end of the session. Shadow Stalker 48.2 right at the end of the session as well. It's a good lap for Shadow Stalker. Anyone still on a lap? Pretty confident that all drivers have finished. We have got Philo still out on a lap. I think he's the only one. Yeah, Philo is the only one still on that lap, and I think he has abandoned that one now. So that's your qualifying order. TNR Philo going to get you away from pole with Luke Doxey alongside. Luke Mitchell holds 3rd and P1 Don P4. So we have got the big guns at the front. We've got P-Gib there as well. He always likes to spring a surprise. So let's see what we get up to in this first race. 10 minutes to go. Let me just use this slight little bit of loading time to go and find my bottle of water. I've put it down somewhere. So there's confirmation of your grid. There it is. I'm in another room. I need to get back to my office. Hashtag professional streamer. Definitely. Let's get them out. And away we go for race 1 at Red Bull Ring. Philo gets away well. A couple of drivers bogged down at the back. I think that one there was 1805 at the back that really struggled to get away. Any chaos at turn 1? I think it's pretty clean. There's a couple of cars. TP86 Racing Dark Sights also was off the track, but that's just going deep turn 1. That can't really always be avoided. Philo then out of the spray. Just kicking up a load of rain for all the drivers behind him. Does everyone else behave? It looks like it. We do have Duds there looking up the inside of Dark Sights. That's a nice little move, that, but Duds just struggling to get the power down on exit. And it is Philo then leading us away, and Luke Doxey in hot pursuit. So far, everyone's sort of behaving himself. Luke Mitchell getting it a little bit loose there, and that's the spot where Albon and Lewis Hamilton tangled at one of the Grand Prix here this year. Hamilton stealing yet another podium from a young talent. Polish Pete going for a boisterous move there up the inside of Shadow Stalker. And Duds again looking to make moves, this time on the Care Bears car with Bigsy. But he actually might lose out on a little bit of pace here versus Dark Sights. Dark Sights in the Mandalorian car getting all loose at the back. Duds getting through. Biggsy's actually backed out of anything there. And the Care Bears car essentially just letting the cars ahead through. See, everyone gets away quite cleanly. This has been a very, very, very impressive lap 1 for all the drivers involved. Traumatic Dave, evening. How are you doing, Traumatic Dave? On lap 2, we've got 8 minutes remaining, so about 5-6 laps in this one. Not a very big race at all. Always getting a bit boisterous between Luke Doherty and Luke Mitchell. The two Lukes battling it out on track. Everyone else seemingly getting away well. Dark Sights has had a very good race so far, even though the back end of that BMW has been very lively. He's certainly got the best out of it. Polish Pete had a torrid first lap. He's now battling at the back against 1805. We have got TP86 and Danzo battling as well. Danzo having to go defensive against the false Canadian, we call him, because he actually lives in the Isle of Wight. Philo then starting to pull a little bit of gap. The two Lukes battling behind, helping him out. And Luke Mitchell using the width of the track to his advantage there, and just getting the widest angle in as possible. Duds has gone a little bit too deep here. That's going to let him with the Care Bears car. Biggs is off in the background as well. That's going to let Dark Sights continue that. Bigsy then just with a little bit of a late break, I think is probably the nicest way of saying this. So you've got to be braking around 125 metres here at the very latest. 100 metres is far too late for Bigsy, and I'm afraid he slides straight off the circuit and into the kitty litter. Top 4, I would say, starting to develop their own little race now. P-Gibb's not far behind them though, so to carry on squabbling, Gibbo can probably start picking up some positions. A little bit further back, we've got the ongoing battle between Dark Sights and Duds. They definitely have scores to settle. And then Polish Pete pushing the boundaries of this Red Bull circuit. Yeah, so look at the gap P-Gibbs established from the guys in the back. That always we see P1 Don just pick up too much rear wheel spin, was it? Let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a look at what happened to P1 Don now. That I want to say he just got it on the curb on the outside and just put his foot down, and that just spins the rear out. So Luke Mitchell goes a little bit deep. Yeah, he realised, and then by the time he realised, it was just too late. So unfortunately, that's lost him that position to P-Gib. Duds and Dark Sykes having yet more little battles here at the back. So these two racing side by side, nice and respectful between the two of them though, which is nice to see. You can't race tonight. Oh, shame, dude. It's proving to be a good race so far. We have got some nice little battles brewing on track. We've got the battle for second, which is between the two Lukes. See, Duds just running himself a little bit wide. Then I was just going to say again, Dark Sykes and Duds' battle's been quite good, as we see Polish Pete going off-road. He's going to have to be careful on his track re-entry. It looks like he is actually being quite careful yet. Is that Polish Pete? No, it's Danzo. It was Danzo that did that. Now Polish Pete's innocent in that one. I do apologise. Right then, so Philo continues to lead the way up as we pass the halfway point. Luke Doxey got a little bit of a penalty on board that car, but he is 1.6 seconds clear of Luke Mitchell. P1 Don is falling down the order. I'm going to go and have a look back why. As Duds and Shadow Stalker go to war. P1 Don at the scene of the crime. Let's have a look what happened to P1 Don. Oh, just got an absolute kicking of oversteer there coming out the final corner. That's going to drop you a few positions, but he rescued it nicely. It's very easy to spin the car full 360, but he avoided that. So well done to P1 Don for at least keeping control of that car. We have got two races, of course, tonight. So if you have a bad race here, all is not lost, because that just means you start further up the grid next time. With it being the reverse grid race, of course. This is the first BMW race I've had where there's not been absolute car. I think every race for these guys should be a wet race, because he's actually chilled them all out. Saying that, 3 wide coming into sector 2, anything can happen here. P1 Don's looking for that move at the inside of Shadow Stalker. Shadow Stalker and him side by sides. I think Shadow Stalker may just back out of that one and just tuck him behind P1 Don. Yeah, for the time being, P1 Don's just got to work his way back through the grid. As you notice, so anything can happen with this. Just a couple of minutes left. All it really takes, I guess, is, as Luke Doxey does it then, is just to get a bit too enthusiastic with the loud pedal. And these BMWs will just spit you right out again. You have got to be really careful, especially on your corner exits. 1805 is learning, does just do a nice enough job of that. I think he's saved it, but it's going to lose him a ton of momentum. 1805. It's going to let TP86 racing through, potentially Bigsy as well. Bigsy's going to have a very good run on him going up the hill. And the Care Bears car is going to be able to make another position up. Let's see if 1805 can get that position made back up the inside. He has got a nose in. So Bigsy does just about give him enough room, and 1805 is just going to try and slipstream him down the main straight. What's happened to Luke Mitchell? Whatever happened to Luke Mitchell, we didn't catch it on cam, and P. Gibb is up into the podium positions, is in third on the penultimate lap. As they cross the line, we will start the last lap of the race. Just purely down to running out of time here. So Philo leads the way, 1.4 seconds ahead of Luke Doherty. They've got nearly a 4-second lead over P. Gibb. P. Gibb's getting chased down by Luke Mitchell. That battle may not be over. They've got one more lap to relinquish that. Duds v Dark Sykes has pretty much simmered down. Now it's Duds v P1 Don. P1 Don, who qualified higher in the order, he's just had a little bit of an accident coming out of this very next corner, in fact. As you can see again, he's just a little bit too eager to get the power down in that car, and it will bite you. So last lap for most of these guys. got 1805 and Bigsy having another battle as well. The Care Bears car, which made a good move on 1805's car earlier on. Again, just gets a little bit too much rear going out that corner, and it's going to cost him. Can P-Gib hold on then for this podium position? We're on the last lap here at the Red Bull Ring. We will have a second race coming up soon, by the way. Philo looks to have got the win pretty much secured. He's not really put a foot wrong all race. Can P1 Don get his way past Duds and pick up some extra points? Polish Pete and Danzo competing for who is the best yellow car of all, and Danzo's looking to put his car up the inside and solidify that position. Nice move by Danzo. That gets him up to 12th. P-Gib is weathering the storm that Luke Mitchell is putting on him. Luke Mitchell's just got 2 corners here to get himself back on the podium, and we will of course check in on how that goes as they come across the line. Meanwhile, TNR Philo likes to flag victory for Philo. He's not had it all his own way though. Luke Doherty's been breathing down his chuff pretty much the entire race, but Philo takes the first win. Luke Doherty a solid P2, and it's going to be a drag battle between P-Gib and Luke Mitchell, and in the end just 300ths of a second separate the two, with Luke Mitchell coming in 4th. Dark Sykes ahead of Duds. Duds does stay ahead of P1 Don. Shadow Stoker, a good race. Shadow Stoker, he's P8, he's kept it nice and clean. TP86 Racing has to serve a penalty, so does 1805, so they're 9th and 10th. Bigsy in 11th, Polish Pete in 12th, and Danzo finishes in 13th. So Polish Pete got himself back past Danzo in the end. Good race. That's the cleanest race we've had all season, boys. What's going on? There was no carnage in that one. I'm actually quite disappointed. I know, P-Gib. I kind of saw it in that because I was obviously watching people as they go across the line. And I sort of saw it on the track map. Sorry, just necking some water. So race 1 then. Well, I say race 1. I've had a lot of races in this M4 League. I can't remember what the track conditions are going to be like for race 2. I guess we're about to find out. Does it get even wetter? Is it going to dry now? What's the weatherman saying? Or is it same as this? I can't remember what they said. You can tell I mute the chat. Oh, it's just the same. It is just the same. Yeah, it was hard work. But it paid off, Shadow Stoke. Isn't that your best result of the season so far? No carnage, because I'm not. No, mate. Oh, no, you're not the carnage causer. The carnage causers are very much in the room. The car was stuck in reverse at the start. I wondered why you didn't get off the line. Because everyone else got away well, and you're just parked at the back. Yep, good battle between Dark Sykes and Duds. It was good to watch that. So, your grid is the opposite of that, basically. So Danzo, oh God, sorry, gave you a blue screen. So Danzo's going to be on pole with Polish Pete alongside. Bigsy and 1805 make up row 2. TP86 and Shadow Stalker row 3. P1 Don's got a good opportunity in this race because he's starting about mid-pack. And then you've got the likes of Philo, Luke Doherty, P-Gib and Luke Mitchell right back of the grid. They've got a lot of room to make up. As you can tell, I mean, you can overtake here at the Red Bull Ring. It ain't impossible. It's a good track for overtaking, to be brutally honest with you, because you've got a lot of braking zones and slipstream is pretty good. But when it's in the wet conditions, like, you can't really brake that light. So yeah, it's got potential. The second race is always, if you're gonna have a spicy race, it's always race 2. 100%, it's always race 2. So we're just waiting for race 2 to start. Again, another 10-minute race, reverse grid. Bigsy with the Bigsy throwing shade. I know what you mean though. Yeah, race 2. Oh crap, doing things on my keyboard here. Again, another 10 minutes, reverse grid race, exactly the same parameters, so nothing changes, like there's no weird tyre wear or anything like that. It's purely just a race to the line. Again, another 10 minutes, another 6 laps, I'd imagine. Let's get out on track. So same conditions, the rain has continued to fall here in Spearblue. And that means the drivers are staying with the intermediate tyres for this time round. No change to the full wets, they are all using the inters. And we will see how they get on. Okay, so the final race of the evening is ahead. 10 minutes in the BMWs at a very wet and wild Red Bull Ring. We've got the reverse grid race, we've got the winners from last time out chucked to the back of the grid. Always produces some entertaining racing is probably the best way I can put it. So a good start here is necessary. We don't have a lot of time for the guys at the back to make it through, so if the guys at the front can keep it clean and just make a clean getaway, then anything is possible. Everyone seems to get away well this time. 1805 has found his forward gear. Looks like Luke Doherty in the background. They've got a rocket of a start. He's already up the inside of Luke Mitchell in the background. Let's again make sure if everyone gets through the first corner nicely. The only dramas we got from the guys at the back, we got, I think that was Pete Gibb in the background who got his car a little bit squiggly. He's right to the bottom. No, it wasn't Pete Gibb, actually, it was P1 Dom. But meanwhile, leading the race, we've got the 2 yellow cars, we've got Danzo and Polish Pete. We've got Biggsy trying to make a move for the inside, we've got 1805 trying to get through as well. That was Shadowstalk who just got the rears lit up a little bit coming out the exit of turn 3. Definitely easily done on that one. These tyres are going to be ice cold, it's going to be hard to get any grip out of them. And a melee of a battle here between Dudds, Shadowstalk and Luke Doherty. Luke Doherty is already up to P5. Philo struggling in through the back. We've got P1 Don's car there looking a bit sorry for itself. The back end's all over the place. Doherty v Dudds. Dudds is going to try and hang it around the outside, but that's not the optimal line. There's not a lot of grip out there, but Dudds tries it anyway, goes sideways. All sorts of action. We've got P1 Don again getting that back end loose on that BMW. He's just pushing too hard at this stage of the race. Now we've got Philo then up to P7. Philo's navigating the traffic quite nicely. We are starting just to fall in line a little bit more now. Darkside's right at the back of the grid, unfortunately for him. He's had a horrible first lap. And Danzo's starting to break away. 1 point, well, in fact, pretty much a second ahead of Polish Pete. Polish Pete ahead of 1805. Then a little bit of a gap back to Biggsy, who's trailing on with Luke Doherty. Luke needs to try and get this move made quick. And you got Philo just behind Dudds. Philo might even go for the move here up to turn 1. He does. Dudds actually breaks a little bit earlier, and nicely done by those two. They kept it nice and tidy, but Philo actually went too late on the brakes. Collects Shadowstalker on the way through as well, but no harm done. Shadowstalker weathered the storm quite nicely. Dudds continues up into P6. Danzo extending the lead over Polish Pete. Polish Pete, who's got an 1805 to deal with. Luke Doherty is already trying to get on terms with the frugal gaming car ahead of him. Knows this is his opportunity. If he lets Danzo escape too early, it's going to be very difficult to get a move made. Dudds, Biggsy and Luke Mitchell meanwhile fighting away in the background as we come down towards turn 4 for the second time of asking. And it's Dudds down the inside. Biggsy's going to have to go around the outside. There's not a lot of grip out there. 1805 as well has made a mistake somewhere. He's gone very, very deep. Polish Pete down to P7. I'm going to wait for a break in the action, just see what happened there, but that's released Luke Doxey a little bit. Luke Doxey's now just got a 3-second gap to Danzo, and he can begin to chase that car down. We have got a car sideways that look like Polish Pete. We've got Philo still in P6, P1 Don in 8th. P Gibbs struggling to get through the pack. He's currently battling he's got 1805 in front. He's got Dark Sides behind him. Alright, let's have a look at what happened to Polish Pete. He actually got a little bit of a bump. He got a little bit of a bump, and that's why 1805 stopped. So I think 1805 knows he was probably responsible for Polish Pete going off circuit, so he just waited up for him. The two Lukes then are unleashed into the path of Danzo, but they are bringing a Duds along for the ride with them. Duds, who's looked very good this weekend. He's even trying to push on Luke Mitchell a little bit. Luke with the inside line should find that a relatively easy defence. Indeed, Duds has to settle down for that Philo. He's trying to find his way through the pack. Currently with a P1 Don behind him and a Big Z round the outside. The Care Bears car again is another car that's looked promising this week. Battles are starting to settle down a little bit. We have still got some cooking. Danzo's doing a good job of holding off Luke Mitchell. I say holding off, I mean sort of keeping the gap. We're halfway through the race and Danzo's still got a 1.8 second lead. If Duds and Luke Mitchell can settle their argument, they can get involved in this. If they carry on fighting, Don and Philo are just behind them. So these guys need to settle their argument quickly. Indeed, they are not doing that. They are going to go side by side for every single corner, but that's fair enough. We see the Care Bears car go very wide there. Rejoins safely enough though, but the Dirty Tyres are going to send him wide once more. P-Gib up to 8th. He's kept it nice and clean so far this race, and he's making up places because of that. Meanwhile, at the top, Danzo's had an awful exit from one of the corners. Oh no, Danzo's turned round. I think Luke Doxey feels like he hit him. We are going to go back and have a look at that. But that's basically handed Philo the lead on it. Philo's up the inside of Duds. And then we've got Don and Luke Mitchell, so pretty much normal service resumed at the top of the grid. Let's go and have a look and see what happened between Luke Doxey and Danzo. Yeah, I get why. Luke Doxey got a boot full of oversteer. At the same time, Danzo didn't exactly get a good exit, so normally that would have been okay if Danzo would have got a good exit, but because he didn't, Luke Doxey ended up tagging him and spinning round. So a completely innocent incident, but an incident nonetheless. So I get why you waited, and it's the right thing to do. So your current state of affairs, with probably 2 laps to go, is Philo leading the way. P1 Don in P2. We've got Duds holding 3rd at the minute with Luke Mitchell in 4th. Then they've got a fair gap back to P-Gib. P-Gib's got a decent enough gap over Shadow Stalker in 6th, and Shadow Stalker is the front carriage in a whole train of cars containing Big Z 1805. Luke Doxey's involved in that as well. TP86 is there. Luke Doxey, Polish Pete's in that. Basically, yeah. There's this entire... So P Gibbs it just on his own, and then look at this, just this absolute horde of cars that Shadow Stalker's trying to hold back. Biggsy's going to try and go up the inside at turn 1. Both drivers need to keep it nice and tight. They do. Good driving between those two. We have got 1805 just off the track. Again, probably picked up a boot full of oversteer. No waiting there, so no incident to report, I don't believe. Philo just trying to pull away from P1 Don. Duds could hold on for a good 4th here. Duds, in fairness, he's definitely got a campaign for at least third. He's going to try and hold it down the inside of Luke Mitchell. Luke sees him, gives him the room. Plenty of room given by both drivers. Nice and respectful, it's what we like to see. But in the end, Luke Mitchell... Oh, there's been a big accident here at the back. Danzo was involved in that. Not Danzo, sorry. Bigsy was involved in that, I saw. Alright, so let's just nip back and have a look. What happened? So Bigsy was at the front of this train. He's got Luke Doherty alongside him. Bigsy just goes a bit too deep. Shadow Stalker sort of joins him. Yeah, it just looked to me as if it was late braking. Dirty tyres mean Dark Sights can try and get one over on, I believe it's his brother. P-Gib waiting up as well. Why are you waiting, P-Gib? What have you done? So you were 5th. What have you done? You've not done anything, have you? Why are you now 12th? You can tell me in the chat afterwards. Since we've got one more lap to go, we might as well cover this in its entirety. So as it stands, Philo leading the way. He's got a second and a bit ahead of P1 Don, who's leading by a second to Luke Mitchell. Luke Mitchell just ahead of Duds. Top 4, unless they make mistakes, seems to be pretty much settled. Luke Doherty then in 5th. Danzo 6 at the minute. TP86 Racing and Polish Pete having a good little battle for this P7 spot. Polish Pete looking up the inside. TP86 Racing gives him the room. Nice move there by Polish Pete. And he gets himself up to P7. Then we've got Shadow Stalker. 9th for Shadow Stalker with P-Gib in 10th. 1805 in 11th. Dark Sykes in 12th. And Bigsy all the way down in 13th. He's had a red of a horror show of races. Bigsy, this will be one to forget for the Care Bears car. Just a couple of corners remain then. And then the drivers can get themselves tucked up in the motorhomes and forget about the rain and the wet and the cold. Looks like plenty still to settle here between P-Gib 1805 and TP86. This could come down to our last corner as well. But it all credit goes to a Mr. Philo. He's had an exceptional race. Came from near enough the back of the grid. In fact, it was the back of the grid because he won the first race. So yeah, Philo, two wins in the wet. P1 Don in P2. Luke Mitchell in 3rd. Duds, great result for Duds. He's finished P4. Luke Doxey's had a very up and down race. He's in 5th today. Danzo P6 for Danzo, a good result, but he did start on pole. Polish Pete in P7. Shadow Stoke just ahead of P-Gib by 700ths of a second. P-Gib loves his close finishes. Then we've got TP86 Racing in 10th, 1805 in 11th, Dark Sides in 12th, and then Bigsy's going to come home in 13th place. That's your racing from the FASTR BMW M4 League run by NxtGen Racing. We are coming towards the end of the season now. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we've only got the one more race left. And then that's it. So I'm hopefully going to be able to give you some points and permutations and stuff for next week. I just can never remember. I never remember to do it, I won't lie. Stacked it, fair enough. Yeah, they are, let's do. I just didn't catch it on the stream, so you're lucky. Suzuka East and Bathurst, right? So 2 more rounds to go. Okay, 2 more weeks. That is fine. I knew it was either 1 or 2 weeks. Suzuka East going to be a tough ask in these cars, isn't it? Bathurst will be a lot of fun. It was silly for me. Was it though? Ugh. Yeah, I always forget how I need to do a diary for all this stuff. That's what I need to do. I need to automate my life a little bit more so I know what I'm actually doing, but because I'm being asked to do comms for other things now and I'm like, I don't know, because I don't know what I'm signed up for and how long it goes for, so I can't haggle. I think that's so annoyed myself. Yeah, Luke, it was. there was no purposeful in that. It was clumsy, but I don't. Yeah, there was definitely no no issue, if that makes sense. Sweet, right. Stream nearly over, so just tell you what we've got in store. So what we're on Sunday. So of course I'm racing myself on Tuesday. That's in the Infinity GT Manufacturer Series. I'm not looking forward to this week's track. It is not a track I enjoy at all. So don't expect magic from me on that one. It certainly won't be a win like it was last time. And then we've got we're live with the NxtGen boys again on Thursday. That's for the Megans, so you can catch P-Gib in action then. And then back live on... Oh, sorry, no, actually, next live will be Wednesday, won't it, with the GT3. So yeah, live on Wednesday from 8:30, live on Thursday from 8 o'clock, and then live on Sundays from about 9. No, it's P-Gib. Right. Yeah, wet race. That was the day with the cleanest races I've seen in this league. Do you know what I mean? The cleanest ones we've had. Right, well, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. I appreciate it if you have done. And I guess I'll see you in the next ones. Don't forget to follow, get your notifications on, so at least you know when I'm live. And then we'll go from there. Thanks, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.